Let me tell you something that's going to sting a little. Narcissists don't play fair, especially when it comes to sex. They use it like a weapon, like bait, like currency in a dirty game you didn't even know you were playing. Most people think intimacy is about closeness, about love, about sharing something sacred. But to a narcissist, it's about control. It's about performance. It's about keeping you hooked, dizzy, and doubting yourself. That's the ugly truth nobody wants to say out loud. But I will, because I've seen how they twist it, how they weaponize it, how they make you question your worth using nothing more than a smile, a touch, or the withdrawal of it. And the craziest part? Most people don't even realize what's happening until they're knee-deep in it, until they're already spinning on the hamster wheel, chasing scraps of affection that were designed to keep them trapped. Look, the Bible says, "By their fruits you shall know them." And the fruit of a narcissist's intimacy isn't love, it's confusion, shame, and addiction. That's why today we're pulling back the curtain on their biggest sexual secrets. The ones they don't want you to see. The ones they use against you when you least expect it. So buckle in, because once you know this, you'll never look at them the same way again. Firstly, the mask of seduction. Let's start with the most dangerous trick in their bag, the mask of seduction. And make no mistake, it's a mask. See, when a narcissist comes after you, it feels like a whirlwind. They come in hot, fast, intense. The way they touch you, look at you, speak to you, it feels like you've been hit by lightning. You think, this must be love. This must be chemistry. This must be fate. But it's not. It's theater. It's a script they've rehearsed 100 times before. They know exactly what to say, when to say it, how to look into your eyes just long enough to make your knees weak. It's seduction, but not intimacy. Performance, not passion. Here's the ugly truth, they don't see you. They see a role. You're not their soulmate. You're the stage where they perform their favorite act. Look how irresistible I am. And the tragedy? You mistake the act for authenticity. You think the fireworks mean you found something real, when in reality, you just stepped into the opening scene of their game. And once you're hooked, once you've taken the bait, that mask becomes their weapon. Because now they can withdraw it, flip it, twist it, leaving you chasing that initial high like an addict begging for another hit. Remember this, real intimacy builds slowly. Fake intimacy hits like a tidal wave. And when it's a narcissist, it's always fake. Always. Second, control in the bedroom. Sex for a narcissist is never just sex. It's not connection, not tenderness, not two souls colliding. It's war. A silent battle where they must win and you must lose. Think about it. Every touch, every move, every unspoken rule is designed to keep them in charge. They dictate the rhythm. They call the shots. You're not a partner, you're a pawn. They twist intimacy into a throne room where they sit on high, making you believe you're lucky just to be there. And if you resist, if you try to shift the balance, they'll shame you, mock you, or withdraw altogether because giving up control feels like death to them. This is why you leave those encounters feeling drained instead of fulfilled. Because it wasn't closeness you shared. It was dominance disguised as passion. The Greek philosopher Plato once said, "Love is a serious mental disease." And in the hands of a narcissist, intimacy becomes exactly that, a sickness. A game where your vulnerability feeds their ego. They don't want equality in the bedroom. They want conquest. Third, the withholding game. Now let's flip the coin. Because narcissists don't just use sex to dominate, they use the absence of it to punish. This is what I call the withholding game. One day, they're all over you, flooding you with affection. The next, ice cold. Nothing. Not a touch, not a glance, not a hint of desire. And you're left spinning, asking yourself, what did I do wrong? That question is exactly the hook. They starve you of closeness until you crawl back, apologizing, begging, desperate for a crumb of affection. And when you finally give in, They reward you with just enough attention to make you think the drought is over. But it's not. It's conditioning. It's training. It's manipulation in its purest form. And the cruelest part, over time, you start blaming yourself. You believe you're the problem, that if you were prettier, sexier, smarter, they wouldn't pull away. But that's the trap. It was never about you. It was always about their need for control. Fourth, the performance trap. If there's one thing a narcissist loves more than sex, it's applause. And in the bedroom, that craving doesn't disappear. It's not intimacy to them, it's performance. They're actors chasing ovations, not partners seeking closeness. Everything becomes a show. The dramatics, the theatrics, the over-the-top intensity, it's not about you, it's about how amazing they look. They want you dazzled, starstruck, whispering to yourself, "Wow, I've never felt anything like this." But notice something, it's always about their performance, not your connection. This is why they often seem detached after. Cold. Indifferent. Because the play is over, the curtain dropped, and the audience, you, is no longer clapping. The show ends, and so does their interest. It's all spectacle. A trick. And the tragedy is, you confuse it with love. You confuse fireworks with devotion, never realizing you're just another ticket holder in their one-man show. As Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. But with a narcissist, even the bedroom becomes a stage. And you're not their soulmate. You're just a prop in their favorite act. Fifth, infidelity is fuel. Let's not sugarcoat it. Narcissists don't cheat because they accidentally slipped or because they just couldn't resist temptation. No, they cheat because infidelity feeds them. It's their fuel, their twisted little way of keeping the fire burning, not in your heart, but in theirs. Cheating, for them, isn't about desire. It's about power. It's leverage. It keeps you doubting yourself, wondering, am I not enough? Was it me? What's wrong with me? And while you're busy tearing yourself apart, they're grinning, because now they've got you off balance, insecure, and desperate to prove your worth. That's the strategy. They juggle other people not just for ego, but to inflate their sense of superiority. Every new conquest is a mirror reflecting back. You're irresistible, you're untouchable. Meanwhile, you're left chasing crumbs of loyalty that never existed in the first place. Think about it. They don't even hide it well. Sometimes they flaunt it. Sometimes they slip up, just enough for you to notice. Why? Because the sting is part of the high. The pain in your eyes, that's proof they still own you. Infidelity is not an accident with a narcissist. It's a tactic. Cold. Calculated. Cruel. Sixth, the shame hook. Now this one is particularly vicious. Because sex should be the safest space, the place where you can open up, share your desires, your insecurities, your secrets. But with a narcissist, that safe space becomes a trap. They'll lure you into confessing. Maybe it's a fantasy. Maybe it's an insecurity. Maybe it's just something you've never told anyone else. And in the moment, it feels intimate, like you're finally connecting. But what you don't see is the hook being set. Because later, when the fight comes, when they need leverage, guess what they'll use? That secret, that vulnerability, that part of you that you thought was safe in their hands. They'll twist it, mock it, weaponize it. And suddenly the thing you trusted them with is the very chain they pull to control you. It's humiliation as a leash. And once they see you flinch, once they see you shrink under the weight of that shame, they know they've got you. That's the hook. But here's the truth. What they call weakness is actually your strength. Because vulnerability is real. Vulnerability is human. The shame isn't yours to carry. It's theirs, forever turning something sacred into a weapon. Seventh, the endless hunger. Let me lay it out straight. You will never satisfy a narcissist. Not in the bedroom, not in life, not anywhere. And it's not because you're lacking. It's because they are. They carry this giant, gaping hole inside of them, and no matter what you pour into it, love, attention, passion, devotion, it's never enough. They're like addicts chasing their next high. Today it's novelty. Tomorrow it's intensity. Next week it's something more extreme, more shocking, more dramatic. Ordinary closeness bores them. Stability feels like suffocation. They need constant stimulation because silence reminds them of the emptiness they've been running from their entire lives. And that's why, no matter how much you give, they'll always demand more. More attention, more drama, more performance. And if you can't keep up with that endless appetite, they'll look elsewhere. Not because you failed, but because their hunger is bottomless. It's the same story, over and over. Devour, discard, repeat. You can't win by feeding a void, because a void never fills. 8th, the grand finale. Discard and replace. Now comes the part that stings the most, the discard. When they're done feeding, they don't sit you down for a tender talk. They don't offer closure. They cut you off like a bad habit. Cold, abrupt, brutal. One day you're the center of their world, the star of their show. The next, you're tossed aside like yesterday's news. And worse, they've already lined up your replacement. That's the grand finale of their act, the discard and replace routine. And let's be clear, this isn't because you weren't good enough. It's because the mask they wore has cracked, the thrill has dulled, and they're hungry for fresh prey. They need a new audience, a new stage, a new mirror to admire themselves in. The devastation you feel in that moment, that's real. But their coldness, that's rehearsed. Because for them, love was never the script. Control was. Ego was. Power was. So when they replace you, don't take it as proof of your lack. Take it as proof of their emptiness. Because the cycle will repeat with the next person. And the next. And the next. They don't stop until the mask shatters for good. So let's tie this together. Narcissists don't come into your life to love you. They come in to use you. They lure you with the mask of seduction, then flip intimacy into a game of control. They withhold to punish, perform to impress, cheat to destabilize, and hook you with shame. Their hunger never ends, because the void inside them can't be filled. And when they're done, they discard you like trash and swap you for a new target. Cold. Calculated, predictable. But here's the truth you've got to remember. None of this means you were unworthy. None of this means you failed. Their actions don't reflect your value. They expose theirs. Broken, empty, forever starving for something they'll never find. You don't defeat a narcissist by fighting their games. You win by walking away, staying silent, and refusing to be their stage. That's your freedom. That's your victory. Now, if this hit you in the gut, don't just sit on it. Hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment and share your thoughts. Smash the like. And stick around, because the next video on this channel, it's going to open your eyes even wider.